Hey guys, today is, I don't even know, actually today is February, the middle of February. I want to be starting some seeds soon here on the Lloydstead. So it's not too early to start certain seeds, but that's a video for a different day. Today, the sun is out. It's actually relatively pleasant out here despite the wind, and I'm hoping my audio is not insane because of the wind. But I just wanted to set you guys up, and I'm going to go through and clean out the greenhouse today. Once I have cleaned it up, then hopefully I'll have time to be able to kind of pick you guys up, bring you with me, and show you what this area is, what I use stuff for, give you kind of like a little tour, and tell you what my plans are for seed starting next week. So, let me start. Yeah. Hi friends. So you just got finished watching a sped up version of me cleaning up out here 2 weeks ago. Between me being still kind of bad at getting good footage and editing and losing track of time, I didn't really finish what I intended to finish a couple weeks ago. So we are now the first weekend of March. I brought you back out here, even though I have since started some seeds in my greenhouse, and I just want to show you how the greenhouse looks all cleaned up and give you the little tour that I kind of promised before. I enjoy when people are very honest about the fact that it is a work in progress. Part of the reason why we do this channel is so you guys can come along and see the progress and hopefully be inspired. So I'll flip you around here and there but otherwise, let's take a walk. All right, lay of the land. Raised bed that David built for me. That's still very much in its winter glory. I need to clean up all these pots and stuff, but by the height of the season, this should all be nice. I will lay out more chips through here. This is one of the things we use our chips for, to keep this place pretty weed free. That area back there, actually, let's take a little walk real quick. First, there's lots of bulbs planted in here that I meant as kind of a seed bed for them, and I intended to move them out in the fall, and I didn't, so there they are. That's pretty. Strawberries in here are already starting to come up for the season. I am going to move those because this table, I'm going to gesture with my coffee mug. This area right here, I've asked David to build me a larger table, and I want a sunshade to have a nice work area out here for wreath making and such. Those guys, I received a family member was throwing them away, and I said, no. I will keep those planters. All those apple sprigs are from pruning the apple trees last week. Here is one of my pride and joys. David built me this potting bench nigh on about 7 or 8 years ago. So this area becomes kind of a catch-all in the main season, I'll be honest, but it is a really great potting bench. That is what it is used for. Behind there, you can actually see, oh wait, I can put you up there. Our compost bins are back there. So it's a very handy place. Great place for hardening seedlings off, etc. So it's nice that it's clean right now. It will not remain so. Underneath there, pot storage. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's daffodils in a pot. Lovely. Let's go inside, shall we? Coffee. I need my coffee. Okay, let's go inside. Welcome to the greenhouse. Here we are. We are here in my little greenhouse. It is, I'll have to check the dimensions, and if I need to correct myself, I'll write it up on screen. But I believe it is 6 by 8. I had a bigger one 2 years ago for a few seasons that was a hoop structure. And it didn't last me very long. It got some holes in the ceiling and whatnot. And really, it was larger than I needed when I actually figured out what I wanted it for. Now, this one could be a little bit bigger, but we're figuring out how to use the space. Let me show you around in here, shall we? Here we go. Here's the space. So, because I like seeing what people do with their greenhouses, let me show you some things. First thing that I find interesting, tool storage. That is filled with sand. Every now and then they suggest putting oil in the sand, like some mineral oil. We just jam the tools down in there, spades and such. At the end of my work table, David also put up a magnet, which I love for scissors and clippers and whatnot. So that's there. There's seed starting mix and seed starting mix. Yay! This long table is my seed starting table, and you can see I've started some seeds, and I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm going to put up a couple videos actually on the seeds I've started, or the seeds I have started and how I start them. But I will point this out. This is a hardware cloth table, which is super handy for watering and letting dirt fall through. But I do have my seed trays on germination mats, and they are on insulation. I probably will talk more about these seed mats in my seed starting video, but that is that. You are probably wondering though, Becky, how do you have power in your little greenhouse? That guy right there. This right here is an outdoor rated extension reel. I guess that's what we're calling it. This is actually woven out of the greenhouse, goes across there to David's workshop, which has power. So this right here is the only power I have in this greenhouse. And this is what runs my seed mats. It does not draw, they do not draw a lot of power. And it helps by having these seed mats on thermostats. So they're actually off most of the day. You can actually see it is not heating right now because it's warm in here. They really only come on at night because even if it's freezing outside during the day, it gets toasty in here. So that's the power. You will notice I also have new this year, actually, so I haven't really tried it out a whole lot. It's about a 200 watt little heater. That, like I said, I haven't used. One, because it's been an incredibly mild winter, so I haven't needed it. My vision for that is when I have heat-loving seedlings in here that have germinated. I will probably need to kick that on if the temperatures at night drop well below freezing. Everything that's in here now, honestly, can handle temperatures very close to freezing. And with the heat mats being on, the ambient temperature in here stays enough above freezing that I'm confident that I'm not going to lose anybody. But if it ever dropped too low, I could kick that on, and ideally that's going to keep the ambient just enough to keep these guys from freezing. Like I said, that's new this season. I haven't even used it yet, so I will keep you guys updated on how he works. But I feel kind of confident that he'll do okay. The other way that I protect seedlings, when I probably just made a loud noise. Hi guys. The other way I keep seedlings protected when it gets very cold is what is? This is actually one of those car windshield inserts that keep your car from getting super hot. And I got it for that. And then I realized, brilliant, I can unfold this on top of my seedlings. And that I have used for a couple seasons now, and it works a treat. All right, so that's my seed starting setup. As you are going to see, as you watch more of my seed starting videos, a lot of my seedlings will actually be started on cafeteria trays and seed blocks. So I can save a lot of room by doing that. Let me spin you around, continue the tour. Underneath of my seed setup table are just plastic storage. I've got bins for keeping soil mixed up in, and all my plastic bits and bobs are relatively, at the moment, well organized under there. Again, when I water up here, this stuff can get wet, so it needs to just be plastic. I also have these, which I'm torn about how useful they have been. We painted those black, filled them with water, and expected to use those as kind of a heat sink. There are two of them. But really, I am not sold on their effectiveness. They're pretty small. So they're just hanging out there for the time being. I didn't show you guys the floor with my, oh yeah, look at the garden style, y'all. We just put chips down in here. Honestly, the intense heat in the summer keeps most weeds down in here. Here are some of my hanging baskets from last year that I unceremoniously ripped everything out of just a couple weeks ago. But if you look closely, you will see little seedlings started. And I love that. I don't know if you guys are aware, if you have petunias that are not hybrids, they will self-seed. And I'm very happy to let them do so. What I do with my hanging baskets is I will let the petunias self-seed, keep them in here nice and toasty. Hopefully they will be lovely big plants in time to plant out, or in time to stick the hanging baskets out in May. I, however, will also start some seeds in here in actually just a couple weeks of some impatiens and petunias to swap out. Petunias look raggedy by the end of the season. So that's that. Those are my hanging baskets. I do reuse some styrofoam to set them on top to keep them up off of the cold ground. Typically they stay above freezing down there. But again, if I have to bring them up and allow them the heater, I will. Or honestly, just 3 baskets, I can bring them in if the water gets too cold, because petunias are not frost hardy. That, friends, is a fan that I will turn on as it gets warmer in the season and as I have more seedlings germinated. The purpose of the fan is both to keep it more comfortable in here and to blow on my seedlings, help them be stronger and stockier, and help minimize, it doesn't completely get rid of it, but it helps minimize the chance of mold and fungus and moss growing on top of the soil in my seed blocks. Really quickly, because I know might not be the most riveting content, here's the rest of my organization. I've got these 2 shelves. These I keep relatively free because here in just a couple weeks, actually, I will be potting up my dahlias and elephant ears and caladiums, and I put them on here. But I do have a bin of trellising and things. Shade cloth for in the summer. I will chuck that over the greenhouse to keep it from getting, too crazy hot in here. Stakes, helpful little bits and bobs, drip irrigation accessories, spray bottle for keeping my seedlings misted, and cable ties, because that's handy. Here's my little tiny soil blocker that I will be using hopefully very soon. I need to get my soil blocks made. And then these guys, how much fun is this? It's actually one of the things that kind of sold me on this greenhouse. Got little clips for hanging all sorts of things like my light. Yay! So I like that. Friends, do not have a greenhouse without some sort of ventilation system. And don't be like Becky. Remember to open it up when it's going to be sunny. I did not actually today. Look at how beautiful clear that sky is. It was toasty in here by the time I got home from church. Finally, a cup of coffee. These 2 pots are actually intended for my citrus trees, which right now are living in the greenhouse at the farm that I work at, because it is a heated greenhouse. These are still too big, much too big for my citrus trees at the moment. So this one is a trash receptacle, pretty much. And that one I'm using for some stakes and bits and bobs. And those are wreaths I made out of apple prunings. So yeah. All right, guys. Well, I hope that was enjoyable. I hope it wasn't too chaotic. I do hope that maybe you got some inspiration for how you can use a tiny greenhouse effectively. Or maybe you just learned what not to do. Oh, coffee's definitely getting cold. I'm going to go warm it up, and I have enjoyed chatting with you guys, and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching.